The concept of Greater Israel is deeply rooted in biblical texts. It draws upon descriptions of a vast land promised to the Israelites by God. This promised land stretches far beyond the borders of modern-day Israel. It encompasses territories from the Nile River in Egypt to the Euphrates River in modern-day Iraq. This biblical vision includes parts of Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. These lands hold immense religious significance for Jews. They are considered the cradle of their faith and heritage. However, the interpretation of these ancient texts remains a point of major contention. Critics argue that applying ancient scriptures to modern geopolitics is dangerous. They see it as a way to justify expansionism and territorial claims. The biblical narrative, they argue, should not be used to legitimize the displacement of existing populations. Despite these criticisms, the idea of a Greater Israel continues to resonate. It holds sway among certain groups within Israel and abroad. This concept, steeped in religious and historical significance, fuels ongoing tensions in the region. The historical context of Greater Israel extends beyond religious texts. It intertwines with the historical narrative of the ancient Israelites. This narrative, often cited by proponents, points to the reigns of Kings David and Solomon. These kings, according to tradition, ruled over a vast and powerful kingdom. This kingdom, they argue, encompassed much of the territory that Greater Israel proponents claim. This historical claim, however, is debated by historians. The actual extent of this ancient kingdom remains a subject of scholarly discussion. Critics argue that using this historical period to justify modern territorial ambitions is misleading. They point out the vast differences between ancient kingdoms and the complexities of the modern nation-state. Despite these criticisms, the historical narrative of a powerful, expansive Israelite kingdom continues to fuel the concept of Greater Israel. This historical lens, layered upon the biblical narrative, adds further complexity to the debate. It underscores the deep historical roots that continue to shape the region's geopolitical landscape. The 1967 Six-Day War marked a turning point for the Greater Israel concept. Israel's victory in the war resulted in the capture of significant territories. These included the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and Sinai Peninsula. This victory emboldened proponents of Greater Israel. They saw it as an opportunity to solidify their claims to these territories. The war, they argued, had given them a historic opportunity to establish a Jewish presence in these biblically significant lands. This interpretation of the war's outcome, however, was not universally shared. The international community largely viewed these captured territories as occupied. The Palestinians, who had lived in these areas for generations, were now under Israeli control. The Six-Day War, while a military victory for Israel, ignited a new phase in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It also breathed new life into the Greater Israel concept. The war's legacy continues to cast a long shadow over the region. It fuels ongoing tensions and complicates the search for a lasting peace. Fast forward to 2025, and the Greater Israel concept once again made headlines. The controversy began with a map. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs published a map. This map, shared on Arabic social media, depicted Greater Israel. It included parts of Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria within Israel's borders. The map's publication sparked immediate outrage across the Arab world. It was seen as a deliberate provocation. Adding fuel to the fire was the return of Donald Trump to the White House. Trump, known for his pro-Israel stance, had previously recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. He had also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. These actions were widely condemned by the international community, but they were celebrated by right-wing groups in Israel. Trump's return to power raised concerns. Many worried that he would further embolden proponents of Greater Israel. The controversial map, coupled with Trump's return, created a volatile atmosphere in the region. In the wake of mounting tensions, the air grew thick with condemnation and fear. Whispers of dissent turned into loud accusations, and trust became a rare commodity. People, once neighbors and friends, now eyed each other with suspicion. It was a time when even the slightest deviation from the norm could spark a wildfire of distrust. And as fear took hold, it became a powerful tool, wielded by those who sought to control and manipulate. The atmosphere was charged. heavy with the weight of uncertainty and the looming threat of persecution. As the political landscape shifted, many began to question if statehood was even a viable option anymore. The once hopeful aspirations seemed to be fading, replaced by a sense of inevitability that perhaps statehood was just a distant dream. Were these the final moments of a long-cherished goal, or was there still a glimmer of hope left? In the face of growing uncertainty, leaders and citizens alike found themselves at a crossroads. Decisions needed to be made, but the path forward was anything but clear. Would they choose to persevere through the ambiguity, or would they succumb to the pressures mounting from all sides? The stakes had never been higher, and every choice carried profound implications for the future. Symbols of identity became powerful tools in the struggle. Flags were raised, coins were minted, and rhetoric soared to new heights. These symbols served not only as a means of rallying support, but also as a way to assert a distinct identity in an increasingly complex world. They were more than mere objects. They were emblems of a cause that was deeply personal to many. Amidst the turmoil, the call for peace grew louder. It became clear that without a concerted effort towards reconciliation, the cycle of conflict would continue unabated. The urgency of finding a peaceful resolution was palpable, and it became a shared goal for those who longed for stability and harmony. The future hinged on the ability to bridge divides and foster a lasting peace.